Jack Doherty was recently robbed of jewelry valued at $300,000. What an extraordinary day. It is profoundly distressing and alarming that such a commendable young man was violently robbed of his cherished possessions, which he acquired via diligent labor. Apologies. I meant to say he earned his income by exploiting individuals on OnlyFriends. In any case, here is the account of the incident. Reports indicate that Jack Doherty was on Rodeo Drive in Los Angeles, accompanied by his pals and his 6 feet 9 inches bodyguard. Why is this individual not in the NBA? For individuals reportedly approached and seized $300,000 worth of jewelry from him. We are discussing chains, a watch, and nearly everything but his hair. It appears they attempted to remove his t-shirt, evidenced by the tears, but they were unsuccessful. Nevertheless, I will now play the complete clip that is currently trending on Twitter. Thus, you comprehend the occurrence. I am uncertain. They arrived, and I heard the tires screeching while I stood here. I heard a tire switch, glanced to my left, and observed everyone exiting. I attempted to reach you first and distinctly recall tackling one individual. The person you mentioned was in my grasp with my left hand, and upon noticing the firearm, I had to restrain myself and withdraw. Indeed, it likely possesses what comparable to 2 stars. No, rather 3. He is likely beneath the correct designation. I was unaware that constitutes big theft. I was unconcerned. Despite their presence, I remained oblivious while engaging in combat with the individuals, attempting to remove them from my vicinity to retain my watch. However, the chains disappeared immediately, prompting my exclamation of disbelief. Please recount the events that transpired. When you arrived, I found myself pressed against the wall, observing my chains in the possession of the one who was forcefully pushing me. A group of individuals approached me regarding my watch, and I attempted to fend them off. Subsequently, 4 men forcefully pushed me against the wall, and one managed to seize my chain. At that moment, I was with 5 others: Dave, Christy, and 3 additional men. Shortly thereafter, I noticed that Dave and 2 of the men were still present, while one individual pursued me down the street in an effort to take my watch. Meanwhile, another member of the group insisted that they had already acquired the chains, leading the pursuer to cease his chase. Jack has indeed prepared the meal. Understood. Did you traverse the entire street? I did. I ran there. Then I thought if I go there, it will be just him and me. I expressed my inability to remain and indicated my need to return. Subsequently, his companions remarked, "We must adapt." He then turned around, yelled, and entered the car. Strap out is indeed exceedingly intense. It is one matter to display that insignia. I understand it is merely an act of driving around with a counterfeit plate or anything similar. The YouTube clip depicts Jack encircled by police officers, and visibly distressed. In one film, he addresses the camera stating, "The chains disappeared instantly. I was pinned against the wall, and I saw my chains in this man's hand." He even stated that he considered resisting to retain his possessions. Nevertheless, the assailants were armed with firearms and successfully escaped with the items. I am forcibly restrained on the ground, observing my chains in this individual's palm while I am being pressed down. Several others attempted to seize my watch while I struggled to fend them off. Subsequently, one of them pursued me down the street in an effort to remove my watch. This experience will only motivate me further. I shall purchase another chain tomorrow. Observe, it is likely that you have heard him state that an attempt was made to steal his watch. Nevertheless, after someone exclaimed that they had obtained his chains, they lost interest as it sufficed. Now, let us discuss the matter that has elicited public scrutiny. Initially, Jack was accompanied by a 6 feet 9 inches bodyguard. How do 4 individuals execute a robbery in the presence of a physical giant who is likely armed with a firearm? Certain former users are labeling this as a setup or a publicity ploy, particularly given Jack's familiarity with viral incidents. Subsequently, there is the timing. Jack has recently encountered significant difficulties, including a ban from Kick, criticism for his McLaren crash, his girlfriend contacting the police over him, and disputes with prominent figures such as FaZe Banks. Could this serve as a means to elicit pity or garner attention? I am not asserting that anything is counterfeit. Nonetheless, when one is a person who flourishes on debate, individuals will inevitably scrutinize every aspect. Conversely, robberies on Rodeo Drive are not uncommon. Affluent regions such as that are frequent targets for criminals seeking valuable jewels. It is conceivable that Jack was merely in an inappropriate location at an inopportune moment. In the absence of further proof, we cannot draw conclusions. Yet, the internet has already formulated theories. Please share your opinions. Stun or genuine article. I genuinely believe this is authentic. I will play the clip from the beginning of the live stream he initiated. It does not appear contrived. It appears as though he has just been robbed, and the circumstance is occurring on a prominent boulevard in Los Angeles. The police are indeed legitimate. This is not akin to the counterfeit police he employed when Mckinley was removed from his residence. I genuinely believe this is authentic. These individuals are actual law enforcement officers equipped with firearms, tasers, handcuffs, batons, and similar tools. It is no jest. Jack appears visibly disturbed. I do not believe someone can fabricate something of this nature on the major boulevard of Los Angeles. Currently, there is no information regarding arrests or the recovery of Jack's jewelry. This incident has just occurred. The police are engaged, but information is limited. Jack has been quite outspoken on social media, asserting that he would not be hindered, stating, "This does not impede me." Subsequently, I will address it. Nonetheless, he stated that he intends to repurchase the jewels immediately. Subsequently, he intends to purchase an additional $300,000 in jewelry. He asserted that he attempted to resist in order to retain his possessions. But when outnumbered by armed assailants, such resistance seems unwise. This raises the question: Jack was not alone. He had a bodyguard with him, yet 4 individuals managed to execute the robbery, seizing hundreds of thousands of dollars in jewelry off his neck. Consequently, others online are questioning, how could this occur? Particularly given the time, as he has recently been banned from Kick. He is receiving considerable criticism over Crash's McLaren and the associated turmoil with his girlfriend. Would it be entirely implausible for Jack to have fabricated this situation to alter public perception? Perhaps to elicit pity, garner attention, or seek public support. I am not asserting that it is fabricated, but for someone who flourishes on controversy, one can never be certain. However, he is once again on Rodeo Drive, an area in Los Angeles where robberies are fairly uncommon. Despite being a high-end shopping district with security measures in place, it remains a significant target for criminals. Affluent tourist influencers showcasing Rolex watches, while rappers display their chains. It resembles window shopping for criminals, and there has been a significant increase in organized smash-and-grab robberies recently. Groups of individuals arrive, seize whatever they can, and depart before security or law enforcement can respond. Thus, it is entirely plausible. Jack was merely an unfortunate victim. Inopportune location at an inappropriate moment, however, this is what we can ascertain with certainty. Jack was on Rodeo Drive, a high-priced area notorious for thefts. 4 individuals approached him and appropriated the majority of his jewelry. He was accompanied by a 649 bodyguard, yet they still succeeded in executing the theft. Jack claims he resisted but was unable to prevent it. Subsequently, videos emerged showing him conversing with the police, during which he appeared visibly disturbed but physically unharmed. Currently, there has been no information regarding any arrests or the recovery of the stolen jewelry. Given Jack's recent behavior, it would not be surprising if he is on the verge of a complete financial collapse. To be candid, he has already totaled a $300,000 McLaren as if it were a bumper car. He reportedly expended over $500,000 on his birthday celebration, shortly after Polo G and Lil Baby arrived and performed for almost 10 minutes. He is boasting about expending an additional $300,000 on jewels immediately following his robbery. His fiancée allegedly departed due to financial decline, and Jack has acknowledged his impending bankruptcy throughout the live. The individual's financial strategy can be succinctly described as immediate expenditure followed by hopeful anticipation of future outcomes. It evokes the atmosphere of a YouTuber's bankruptcy documentary within a 2-year time frame. Rather than purchasing a new chain, consider investing in a financial advisor or, at the very least, hiring a more economical wrapper for your birthday celebration. Regardless, it is an astonishing narrative. Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. Was it authentic? Was it counterfeit? Is Jack on the verge of financial ruin in 5 days? Please include the Patreon or GoFundMe link. If this heist was genuine, I hope Jack receives justice, and it would be prudent for someone to provide him with a copy of Money Management for Dummies before it is too late. Subscribe to receive more intriguing news about celebs.